Hey, I'm Brandon. Let's start again. Hello, I'm Brandon Lewis, Director of the Marketing Department at the Academy for Professional Painting Contractors. Let's talk about referrals. When I talk to painting contractors, they really dislike chasing purchased, cold, crappy leads. They really hate when people wander onto their website through SEO, although that's critically important, and they're really just not a good customer, and their closing rates are very low. Now, sometimes they're low because the sales process is bad, as we talked about in video 2 with the PowerPaint presentation process, but often sourcing has a lot to do with how leads close and how price sensitive they are. Think about it. When you go out and say repeat customer, it's a slam dunk. The next best customer you can go see is a referral. When somebody is referred to you through a friend or family member or a B2B contact, guess what? They close, and they close at higher rates. So referrals, word of mouth referrals, are so critically important. We have a second component that helps turbocharge this and really get your word of mouth referrals up quickly in a very strategic, campaign driven fashion. So if you want to have repeat and referral business, you have to set out to build a business that generates repeat and referral business. Doesn't that make sense? But people are always saying, well, I really want more repeat and referral business, but then we start digging into their systems, and we will do this on your assessment call and diagnostic call if you click the button below, is that I discover all the money, all the efforts that they're spending is really going after talking to strangers. You can't build a repeat and referral driven business when you talk to strangers all the time. So we're going to talk about how in your fourth month of the Core 5 system, we're going to dig into how to really generate referrals so that you have more predictability and you're dealing with a better quality of painting customer. So let's talk about the expense of generating referrals or going direct to your customers. So let's go and say that there's like this big group of customers over here that you want to reach, right? Let's say this represents 200, 300 people in a calendar year. It would be very expensive to go after 200 or 300 people in a calendar year because we looked at before, remember, the cost of cold lead acquisition and how expensive it is. However, this group of people, there's very often one, two, maybe three people who have direct access to those people at the perfect time that something is happening in their life. And so these people could be B2B contacts, they could be commercial managers of properties, people that are facility and maintenance managers who aren't on site, but who rather are the people who manage it. Commercial realtors, they can be the handful of really good referring residential realtors. So you look here, all these people, when I say B2B, this could be your gutter person, your roofer, your landscaper, people who are constantly dealing with other people that you really want to get to know. It is much more effective and cheaper and easier to build a relationship with 3 people than it is 300, especially when the relationship is somewhat cold, right? So we're not going to go here, we're going to go here, okay? And the good thing about going here is a few things. Usually when you go here, you can only contact this group of end users one way. Usually it's you can only mail, you can only find them online, you can only do something. Well, almost everything we do in the Academy for Professional Painting Contractors is what we call multi-step and multimedia. We like to, if we can possibly do it, reach people 4 different ways, okay? We want to have 4 mediums at our disposal so that we can contact them once, twice, 3 times, 4 times even. Because when you use multi-step, multi-medium marketing, it increases the chances of response and it reduces waste and allows you to focus on a better high-quality list. I learned this strategy when I worked as a political consultant for U.S. Senate U.S. House, state, and local races, and what I discovered is we would focus on this small little group of people every time that a political race was ran, when we had to spend millions of dollars in the last 60 to 90 days of a campaign, and we would call them, we would mail them, we would email them, we would knock on their doors, we would go to the gathering places where they assembled. So we were able to use all these strategies of mail, email, phone, etc., and we were able to actually meet them often, either at home or where they congregated. And so when you have a small group of referral people that you can put into a process and a system, they can continually shoot back leads to you. And the cool thing is, when you use this strategy, you see, these people here have spent their own marketing dollars to do what? To identify these people. Yet you come in with, instead of this much marketing dollars, just this much, not very much, you talk to them, and so you get the best of these. Does that make sense? Now, the problem with this is everybody kind of functionally understands that referrals are a good thing and that there are referral sources, but nobody has a programmatic approach. Often what folks want to do is spend a whole lot of time wasting time at chamber networking events, which is very inefficient, or in some cases B&I, which can be can be efficient and helpful in some cases, but remarkably inefficient. I'm sorry, but you can't refer a chiropractor, a doctor, or an attorney. Nobody's going to take that recommendation from their painter. It's about peer-to-peer. Now, if you go to church with somebody or you're a friend with somebody, they'll take your recommendation as a successful business owner. But when you're dealing with your homeowners and your commercial contacts, they're not going to. So in month number 4 of our program, the core 4, or the 4th step in the core 5 process, is we teach you how to go after all of this in a very systematic way that's tailored and focused. You see, when you do marketing, there's really 4 things that matter. The first thing that matters is the market, meaning that you have to know specifically who you're going after. And in this case, we have a defined group of referrers and referral sources we're going after. You can market all day long, and if you pick the wrong market, which is the first step on the marketing compass, you're going to have a bad day, and you're going to spend a lot of money and not get much results. The second part, and this is a part where people don't spend much time and attention, is the message. All the brand and image people think that all you have to do is put up a picture of a painted house and some little cute, snazzy slogan like painting North Iowa, one house at a time. Your home colored to life, or something else that's meaningless and makes no sense when if you gave it to a 4th grader and you asked them what the heck does this mean, they couldn't tell you. Neither can your customer, by the way. It sounds clever, but it's meaningless. Is the message. What exactly are they worried, concerned about, and have you matched the market to the medium? And then your message, and then you have the medium. What can you use? And anytime you have 3 or more mediums where you can use to reach somebody directly, your chance of success goes up, your ROI goes up, and your investment needed to get a good return goes down, which is exactly what you want. And then finally, there's timing. And we're going to talk about in the 6th installment, when we talk about our marketing mastery calendar, how timing is so critically important to what you do, because you can't go after every market at just any given time of the year. So what I want to talk to you about now is that referral sources are easily reached, easily identified. You just have to have a system that allows you to reach them in a way that's efficient and effective, and it gets their attention. And then you need something that keeps you from losing them. So often in marketing, we are exceptionally good at starting something, right? And maybe if we can get over the hump and start something, we're good at that. But sometimes we let the maintenance of it drop. It's like somebody who starts their New Year's resolution really coming out of the gate strong in January, and by March they're back to their old habits, they're out of the gym, etc. And it's really a big deal to keep on that steady course, because once you've paid in all of the effort and money, you don't want it to disintegrate, because then you'll just be back at the same place you were, stalled and stuck for 5, 10, 20 years, and that's no good. So we also have programs when we get into the marketing mastery calendar to make sure we do maintenance. It's just like painting a house. you've got to maintain it. Once you build it, that's the business that we're in. Now, in the next session that we spend together talking about the fifth part of the core five, we're going to talk about going after commercial contacts in your area, maintenance and facility managers of 40,000 square feet and bigger buildings, so that you can get large paydays, because those small paydays are really hard to turn into big money, although they can pay your overhead and make a nice living if you want to send your kids to nicer schools, buy a nicer car, live in a nicer house, get out of debt, pay off savings, or add up savings rather. One of the quickest ways I found in my business was to go after these large commercial accounts, because they're recurring and they're bigger, and they're just sitting ducks, and they're right in your backyard, and no other painters are going after them. So that's what we're going to talk about in the fifth step of the core five. But between now and then, enrollment is getting closer and closer to closing. So you really need to go ahead, before you miss all of the discounts and all of your opportunities to join, you really need to go ahead and click the button so that we can get on the phone and have a candid conversation, so I can look at this and other systems in your painting business and make recommendations. I look forward to talking to you really soon.